my.
Great. I mean, you had a very young start, as you said. You started at 22, and then you started actually getting into these health clubs at around 25. I mean, as you started to travel and kind of dig, I guess, into the infrastructure of these companies, I guess what was the kind of the main structure that how would you actually do that? And then again, they trusted you at such a young age. How did you actually do that? Like the 3 bullet points. I'm sure the audience would really love to kind of hear that.
I think I was fortunate to have success early on. It was something I was, to a large degree, I think you have to be somewhat obsessed with the detail involved. It was something I committed to. I've lived it to this day, 24 hours a day, unfortunately, to many people's frustration. I do this night and day, especially now that I work, on a global scale. But it's very easy now to go into these companies and make these quick turnarounds. One, when you look at it from a 30,000-foot overview, it becomes very easy because the outside perspective is so critically important. I think like any relationship that's dysfunctional, if you know of a person who's been in any kind of dysfunctional relationship, sometimes from the outside you can see all the areas of opportunity or ways to correct things, but they can't see it because they're so emotionally embedded in it. And that's what you have with these business owners and sometimes these key executives, because they create the strategies or the systems or the processes, they own it, and they feel as though it's theirs, and they're so immersed in it that they can't see outside of it. So for me to come in and be able to identify areas of opportunity, and then in conjunction drop what's that Trainer Nation sales system in place and the corresponding education, that's how things turn around so quickly. I think what you find when you go into all these companies, and again, whether it's the single unit health club owner who's struggling or the large companies that will work with 50 health clubs, a lot of things remain the same. There's a limited investment in human capital. So companies find that, of course we understand that the location is critical. We understand that the facility and the physical plant is important. We understand that all of those things add to retention and keep people coming back. But we're in an industry where employee turnover is so incredibly high, and it's because there's no development for our employees. People are given sometimes measures or expectations, but they're not given the direction to achieve those things. So that's where we come in, and we teach this process of how to sell, market, and brand the service, how to take all these individual employees and make them relevant to your user, your membership base, differentiate themselves from their peers who they work alongside, but also differentiate themselves from their outside competitors. And that's the one of the pieces of this Trainer Nation Revolution course curriculum. So that's the idea, making people better than they were yesterday.
Yeah, nice. So I guess that kind of leads into my next question. Like, I think, what do you find that these companies struggle with the most in terms of, with that respect?
I would say there's an absence of process in most cases. People have objectives, but they don't have a process. And the companies that have the foresight to create process don't always have the ability to create the content that coincides with the process. So people may know what they want to see the end result be, and they may even have the ability to determine the direction you need to take to get there. But the content is so critically important. It's being able to give your personal trainers, your managers, the real content and the substance that gets you to the end result. What's the blueprint or the framework that allows you to have success and to reach that result? Measuring things properly. So many companies have such poor measures in place, if any at all. So sometimes you're moving with no real purpose throughout the day, and I think that adds up at the end of the month.
Right. So you seem to have a real emotional and and personal investment in a lot of the companies you